You don't belong here anymore. That was the first thing my father said after 5 years of silence. Not hello, not how are you, just that, like I was a trespasser in a house I helped build. I'm Rowan Greaves. I'm 34. I served overseas, buried friends, came back with scars no one asked about. And today, in a boardroom that smelled like lemon polish and inheritance warfare, my family tried to write me out of existence. My sister smirked. My father set a $38 million check on fire with a lighter he probably keeps for intimidation. But they forgot one thing. Grandpa didn't trust them. And what he left me wasn't just money. It was proof. Locked in a second envelope. Waiting. Has your family ever tried to erase you and failed? Drop a comment. Because this isn't a sob story. It's a warning. I walked into that boardroom like a ghost they forgot they'd buried. No one looked up, no one smiled. Not even when I sat down. Not even after 5 years. Not even after my deployment. No one asked if I still had all my limbs. No one said, "Glad you made it back." Because to them, I didn't. My sister crossed her legs and adjusted her perfect posture like this was some press conference she was winning. My father leaned back in the chair he always considered his throne. And when Miss Halford read the will, I swear I felt the temperature drop. He got books. She got the lake house. And then came my name. To Rowan Greaves, my granddaughter, my only confidant, the rest was a blur. I didn't breathe until the number hit the table. 38 million. Voting control. Braden Tech. Me. Then he lunged. Leonard, my father, grabbed the check like it insulted him. "You think this brings you back?" he said. Then he lit it on fire. Right there, in front of everyone. Like my existence was paper and gasoline. And I just sat there, silent, still. Because what he torched wasn't the inheritance. It was his last illusion of control. He thought he burned me. But Grandpa had already warned me. And I came with insurance. Tucked inside my coat pocket. Still sealed. Still waiting. I didn't leave the boardroom angry. I left empty. Like someone had vacuumed the last bit of me off the record. No yelling. No showdown. Just the quiet sound of my boots on wood floors they never meant me to walk on again. The last time I came home from deployment, it was Thanksgiving. I'd been gone 18 months. Border Patrol, Convoy Detail, Syria. I came back with ringing in my ear and 2 less friends. Leonard looked up from his newspaper and said, "You didn't write. That was it." No hug. No "we're proud." Just silence. My room was gone. Not just changed, gone. Repainted beige. 2 fake orchids. A framed quote about calm waters and quiet minds. The door that once said Rowan now said guest. I remember standing in that hallway, holding my duffel, thinking, maybe I don't exist here anymore. Ara passed me with a cup of peppermint tea. Didn't even pause. "Don't be dramatic," she said. "You were gone like a year and a half. I left the next day. Moved into a crumbling apartment over a mechanic's shop. Worked security while waiting on my VA papers. Didn't ask anyone for help. Didn't expect any. But every few weeks, a wire transfer would land. Just enough to keep the lights on. No sender name. Just M. Greaves. Grandpa. No calls, no notes. Just faith. The same man who showed up with boots in my size when I was 12 and told me, "You don't need to be loud to take up space." The same man who handed me an envelope across a diner booth weeks before he died and said, "Don't open this unless they try to burn it." And they did. So I did. The check was just the beginning. The fire wasn't the finale. It was the trigger. That night, I sat in my apartment, envelope on the counter, heart pounding. I hadn't opened it yet. I wasn't ready. But something in me whispered, they're not done. So I checked my bank app. Glitched. Then, account not found. Tried again, same thing. Card, declined. Second card, declined. I called the bank. The rep sounded like he'd rather be anywhere else. "Ma'am, your account is marked inactive." "What does that mean?" He paused. Deceased, certified, 2 weeks ago. I hung up. Chest tight, hands ice. My name was gone. Next stop, DMV. Waited an hour. When I handed over my ID, the woman frowned. You're flagged as legally deceased. I'm standing right here. I get that, she said. But the system doesn't. The words hit like a sniper round. Legally. Deceased. Outside, I stood on the sidewalk like a ghost no one had the decency to bury. Then I saw her. Across the street, sunglasses too large for an overcast day, scarf too familiar. My mother's scarf. The one she claimed was lost years ago. She didn't wave. She didn't blink. She just watched. Like someone checking to see if a fire had finished burning. I crossed the street. She vanished. Back home, I cracked the seal on Grandpa's envelope. Inside, a notarized trust transfer and a USB drive. The real inheritance had already moved. Quietly, securely, irreversibly. The check they torched? Just a decoy. He knew. He'd known all along. On the USB, bank logs, stock control, voting rights. Proof, legal, clean. I should have felt relief. But when I tried to log into the linked account, another error. Then a message. Account closed. Reason, client deceased. They didn't just try to steal the money. They tried to erase the entire me. They thought I'd break. That I'd vanish quietly like a bad rumor. But I'd been trained for war. And this? This was just a legal ambush with better lighting. I called Sylvia Marsh. Veterans legal advocate turned rogue fixer. The kind of woman who once sued the Pentagon and won. She opened the door in sweatpants, Harvard Law hoodie, and said, "This better be illegal." "It is," I said. "Good." She tossed me a slice of cold pizza. "Eat. You look like a ghost with a grudge." I handed her everything. Forged death certificate, fake signature on the trust transfer, revoked ID. She flipped through the pages like she was playing poker with a loaded deck. Classic, Delaware Shell Company, sloppy. Then she grinned. "They filed you dead so they could claim you left voluntarily. That's biblical." She called in Miles Crow, a forensic doc analyst with the personality of a scalpel. Within minutes, he flagged the fake signature. "Lifted from your 2018 DD2 foreign." He pointed. "See this loop in your G? It's yours." "But here, flatline, it's a scan, a sloppy one." Then Sylvia added, "They moved 40% of your voting shares to a holding firm under Leonard's real estate trust. He was prepping to take Braden Tech public without you." "But it's fraud," I said. "It's federal fraud," she replied. "And we're gonna burn their castle down, brick by legal brick." She filed a motion, froze board actions. Miles drafted the affidavit. I dug out every hard copy doc from my deployments, real signatures, ink-stamped orders, the kind of paper no one can fake. Then I called a journalist. Nash Wilder. Investigative, relentless, zero tolerance for corporate filth. I gave him everything. He didn't blink. "You want this quiet?" "No," I said. "I want it permanent." The courtroom gave it a stamp. The board froze their actions. The press buried their narrative. But I didn't stay to celebrate. I walked out without a word. No victory lap, no I told you so. Just the sound of my boots on stone. I didn't rebuild the house that tried to bury me. I built something new. From the ground up. A storefront. Dusty. Quiet. No plaque, no press release. Just 4 words Grandpa left in his final letter. Make something they can't erase. So I did. I launched the Greaves Foundation. Veterans. Women. Forward. We offer legal aid, housing referrals, trauma-informed mentorship. No slogans, just real help. Our first client? A woman dishonorably discharged for reporting harassment. All she wanted was to be heard. So I listened. And now, every name they tried to silence becomes another brick in this place. Not a monument, a launch pad. I passed my sister on the street last week. She didn't wave. Good. This story doesn't end in fire. It ends in form. In structure. In legacy I wrote myself. They tried to delete me on paper. Now I own the building where their story fell apart. So if you've ever been written off by blood, by law, by lies, remember, you don't owe them a comeback. You owe yourself a beginning. This was mine. Have you ever had your family try to erase you? Legally, emotionally, or financially? Drop your story below. No judgment, no shame, just the truth. Because sometimes, the quietest ones come back with the loudest legacy. Comment. Share. And if you felt even one line in this, hit subscribe. More true stories. More fire. No filters.